Hey, Kevin here from DIYDork.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make a really awesome crate using reclaimed wood. Now this crate can be used for anything from an actual storage crate to a stool to a table to anything you want, but it's just a really awesome design, and I'm keeping mine kind of raw and industrial just for a really awesome look. So check this out. This is a really cool project. Alright, so for the back pieces it's relatively simple. I'm taking two of them, I'm smushing them to the edges there, and this one I still gotta pound down flat till it's, flush with the back side here. And then I'm doing just like I did the sides. I just pre-drilled, countersunk some screws in there. I pop two in there, two in the top, and then this third piece, what I'm going to do is I just have to center it. So it'll go in about like that, and I'll pound it in, and basically I'm going to have a 3/4 inch gap on both sides. So I'll put these in, I'll show you what it looks like finished, and then I'll show you how to join everything with those support brackets. Alright, got it screwed in, and check that out. That is a bomb-proof piece of crate right there, if I've ever seen one. 3/4 inch thick. This thing is heavy duty. So now what I'm going to do is join them all together using the braces and the lower caster braces, I guess you could call them, or whatever, and put them all together. So let me do that next. Alright, so I put all three rings that I built up here on my work surface, and I put them upside down. So this is actually the bottom here. And then what I did was I lined them all up in the order that I wanted them. And if you remember, I had a 1/2 inch board earlier. I just chopped it in a couple of pieces like this to act as 1/2 inch spacers. Then what I did is my table saw has a little fence here that raises up. So I raised it up. That way I could butt everything and make sure that they're lined up perfectly. If you don't have that, you could just like clamp a 2x4 on your work table, and that would work just as well. So basically just shoved everything here. It's nice and level. Got nice even 1/2 inch gaps. So then I took the little boards here that's going to mount the casters, and I just lined them up against the 3/4 mark here where the two boards meet, just to make it easy. And I evened it up over here. Should be an inch on each side. Then what I'm going to do is pre-drill 2 holes here, 2 in the center, and 2 over here. And I'm going to use some 1.5 inch screws to hold it down. And I ran out of my little dark colored star screws, so I'm just going to use these machine screws. They have like a button head, pan head on there, but I think it'll be fine. They'll be hidden underneath. And anyway, we'll attach all these so that the bottom will be secure. Then we can flip this thing over and start working on the braces that go on the inside. So let me attach these. I'll show you real quick what it looks like finished, and then we'll start attaching the other pieces. Alright, so both of these bottom braces here are screwed on nice and tight. You get kind of a cool little distressed white surprise when you flip this whole crate table over. But anyway, that will hold the bottom really good. So now we got to support the top because they're still kind of loose and will, they'll pull apart. So we got to keep them together. So I slipped my 1/2 inch braces in there again, or spacers in there again. And then I'm taking these little brackets that we made, and I'm gonna shove it all the way to the back and then all the way against it, and it lays flat. It should be about a 1 inch gap right here. And what's going to happen is, when you're looking at this table, you're really not going to see them unless you're looking down here, okay? So that's why we got them sitting back instead of all the way up here. I just think it looks a little better. So these would be real simple. All we're going to do is pre-drill and put a screw in the center of that one, the center of this ring, and then the center of that ring, and then hold it nice and tight just to keep these from flexing apart. Okay, I'll put one over here on this side as well. Now I'm also putting some that will be here on the bottom. Now you don't have to do that, but I'm going to go ahead and do that just to show you what it looks like, because you may not want to put these bottom pieces on when you build yours. You may just want just a clean crate and put legs or casters straight on it, or maybe actually use it as a crate, or whatever. So if you don't want to use these, then you definitely are going to want little brackets like this on the opposite side here. Or you could leave it alone as is and just have a nice clean look. I'll go ahead and add mine in there just to kind of show you what it looks like, and then put the casters on there, and I'll show you what this thing looks like all finished. Alright, I finished up the crate, so I brought it inside to show you a couple things. To show you what the brackets look like inside, all mounted. Pretty cool, keeps everything nice and sturdy and in place. And the last thing I did was I mounted these casters. I just have 4 screws on each plate, real simple. If you've ever mounted casters before, you know how easy it is. And what I did is all of them spin, but 2 of them are just totally free, and 2 of them I got with brakes. I like to at least get 2 brakes so that when it's on the floor it won't like rotate on you when you touch it or put things in it. And pretty cool little casters. These aren't your average hardware store casters. I actually got them online from coolcasters.com. And if you've never been to that site, you should go check it out. They have really, really cool options. They have some that are made of wood, some that look like they're floating, some made out of like skateboard wheels. The ones we got here are clear plastic with these blue rubber treads on them. I thought that'd be really interesting. So anyway, go check them out if you want to. And I'll flip this thing over and show you what it looks like all totally finished. Alright, and here it is all finished. I really like those bright blue casters, how they play off with the as-is reclaimed wood. They kept raw with no clear coat, no stain, no wax, no nothing. And the interior here has plenty of space for a huge pile of magazines. It's good news for me because I keep all my magazines and I have years and years and years worth, so I can fill this thing up. But I could also imagine a record collection in there, have it stuffed full of pillows, maybe even like a pillow or a pad on the bottom, and it could be like a little pet house. Something like that could be kind of interesting. And I really like my beat up board back there. It looks like a couple of faces peeking over those magazines. But anyway, my favorite feature is just that we kept it raw. I was gonna do some clear coating, but when I tested, all of the really awesome patina and character just totally disappeared, and it just looked like a brown piece of wood, you know, nothing special. And I was kind of playing around with that, and my wife convinced me to keep it raw, and I really like how it turned out. And one thing I was going to do was have a plywood ring back here, the solid wood ring here, and I was going to do a ring made of OSB, which is, you know, that wafer board. It kind of looks like camouflage. And I didn't have any in 3/4, or I would have done it, so I just played with, you know, the two plywood rings with the solid wood ring. I thought that'd be an interesting idea. The other one was that I took the middle ring and I flipped it so that the joints are just opposite of the other two. Thought that'd be a cool effect. I think it would show even more if you used all the same type of wood. And anyway, I just thought I'd play with that and be a really cool effect. Now one thing, because I kept it raw, normally on furniture this would be a nightmare, but cups are going to leave rings. But I think on this particular piece, it'll just add to the patina. So, you know, every day maybe set the mug in a different spot, and it'll have these really cool rings on top over time. But anyway, it turned out really awesome. I could imagine it in different sizes and shapes, maybe a little bit longer, and it'd be a really cool coffee table. I could even imagine it squashed down a little bit and have like some hairpin legs under it, or those mid-century legs I like to use in a lot of my projects. And it could be a TV stand, you know, whatever you want. Maybe even a stool, put like a padded top on it. I think that'd be a really interesting little project. So anyway, if you want to build this and you're curious what dimensions I used, I will put all of them on my site. And also, if you're not quite into the whole twisted design I used when I screwed it together, I'll also figure out a little more traditional design where, you know, the top board is totally solid, so it'll look like this on both sides, and then the sides will fit in between. So, you know, it'd be totally solid on top, totally solid on bottom, and the sides would fit inside. If you're into, you know, something more like that. So I have all those dimensions listed on my site, and I'll put that link in the description as well. So thanks for watching. This was a really cool project. I've been wanting to build a crate for a while, and I think it turned out really, really cool.